When I was 19, I was traveling the world full-time, making over $100,000 a month from my business. I had 11 streams of income. Fast forward many years, I've made a lot more money, but I actually have less individual streams of income than I did back then. It's true, but that's actually done on purpose. So I'm gonna run you through each source of income and what comes from where. So if that sounds good, make sure to drop a like down below. This channel's been growing a ton recently. Welcome if you are new. I figured this would be the best way to give you guys some more specifics on what it is that I do. Source number one is my company eCommerce Season, which is a leader in the industry, focusing on marketing and advertising strategies for e-commerce businesses. I've been running this company for many years and we've had a lot of different products and services. We cater to both newbies and advanced businesses that are looking to scale. Our track record is pretty impressive. We've worked with thousands of businesses, taking a countless amount from zero to a full-time income. It's been really, really cool. At this point, eCommerce Season is probably tied for my highest income stream because it has such a high margin. We operate very lean and very efficiently. Now, what sets this company apart is actually my personal brand. I've become one of the largest figures in the e-commerce space by doing one simple thing, and that is giving more away for free than anybody else. This has helped us grow our audience and our customer base with a lot of inbound traffic, which has been great, and we also get a pretty decent amount of referrals. eCommerce Season has done millions of dollars in sales. It has not yet hit the 8-figure mark. However, we're a very lean operation. We currently have 6 employees under the company, and we run absolutely no paid ads at all. We probably should, but we don't. It's all organic, mostly through my brand here, as well as through referrals. I really enjoy running this business, and my team loves their jobs. They have a very flexible schedule. They make a lot of money compared to the work they do, and everybody is tied to performance. So they all have upside, they're all incentivized, and basically that means we're all rowing the boat in the same direction, which is great. As a business owner, there's not much more I could ask for than my team being happy. And for anyone curious about the specifics there, most of my employees, I try to have them salary plus performance based. So they get a base salary and then they're tied to some sort of metric. Again, this keeps us all working towards the same goal. The only people who don't have a salary are our sales guys. They are 100% commission only, but they still make good money. All right, my second source of income is my oldest one, which is e-commerce. Without this, the company eCommerce Season wouldn't exist. I started talking about my e-commerce journey that blew up the YouTube channel, which ultimately led into the company. But I started drop shipping when I was 16 years old. By the time I was 17, I was on track making 6 figures. Everything was going well. And I started discussing that on YouTube, just sharing my journey. At 18, I was on track to cross $1 million with a couple $100,000 in profit from e-commerce. And that's where things were really turning around. I was financially free. I had the option to go travel, which I did. I found myself in China just after my 18th birthday, meeting with manufacturers. So it was a lot of fun being able to then go take the business on the road and go travel the world for many months, seeing some incredible places. That was all from e-commerce. And I've had a lot of fun building it. For an example, I had an orthopedic company for about 3 years that did over $10 million in sales. We mostly sold ankle braces, eventually knee braces. That product was found because I snapped a tendon in my ankle when I was skateboarding. And I kept trying all these braces. They all pretty much sucked. And so I ordered a ton of samples, dozens of them from different manufacturers, found the best one, tweaked it, put a brand name on it. Boom, we were in business. That's how I started it. It's a recurring theme here. Most of my businesses were started out of a lack or a desire in the marketplace. So there was a hole that I was trying to fill in the market, and that company did exceptionally well. It wasn't a sexy product, but it sold a ton. Now, nobody knew that I had that orthopedic company or that it was cranking out hundreds of thousands of dollars because I didn't feel the need to share it. I don't ever share my brands publicly. The reason for that is I have before, and there's always a couple people that go leave fake negative reviews and stuff, so it's just not worth it. But there is one brand that I'll reveal to you privately if you want it. It went from 0 to $1.2 million in sales in just 6 months. It's a product that still sells really well. If you want to go piggyback off of it, just DM me the word crash course on Instagram. I will send you a free video breakdown going through that entire brand, talking about the fulfillment, the product, the sales, all of it. I'll give it to you for free. So again, that's kind of what my company eCommerce Season does, is helping with the training and helping people duplicate exactly what I've done. So just message me the word crash course over on my Instagram page and we'll send you that for free. Now, my grandpa's the real reason that e-commerce took off for me when I was 16 and 17, because my parents wouldn't open a bank account for me and he was willing to. I asked him and I said, when I make my first $1 million in a year in profit, I'll buy you your dream car. And so all he did was open a bank account, which to him probably wasn't a big deal, but to me it was everything. It was the keys to the kingdom. I could now run my business, transact money. And so when I was 19 years old, I was able to go buy him his absolute dream car, which was just such an incredible personal moment for me. It was by far the best purchase I've ever made. My third source of income is one of my favorites, and that is real estate, specifically properties that I own and control. I have about 65 apartments right now, a couple houses, and they spit off some pretty impressive cash flow. I started buying properties when I was 19 because I needed a place to put the money. It started piling up, and so did the tax bills, right? My company eCom season was spitting off some cash flow as we had gotten that going. The e-commerce stores were printing money. I was on track for about $1.7 million that year in 2019, and I started buying real estate. Now people say, how'd you do that at a young age? I had 2 years of self-employed tax returns, so I could very easily go get loans with those strong financials for just about anything I needed. Now there's multiple ways that I make money through real estate. Number one is tax benefits. I make money by not spending as much on taxes. That's a big one. Number two is principal pay down on the mortgage. Technically, doing that with someone else's money. That's a big source of accruing wealth. Number three is cash flow. Anything beyond the expenses that the property spits off, I make some pretty nice cash flow from it, enough to live on for the rest of my life without needing to work again, which is awesome. Next is going to be your natural appreciation. Markets and real estate go up over time. It's not something I factor into my equation, but it definitely happens. And then finally is forced appreciation. That is the appreciation that I do factor in, because with commercial properties, I can force the value of the building to go up in general by increasing the amount of money that the property makes. That's how it's valued. So it's been a lot of fun learning more about this. Last year, I really dove into it. I took about 120 flights. Half of that was probably just for real estate, looking at properties, paying to go to seminars and masterminds and coaches, and going to somebody's house for 3 days to learn and just like study and be around real estate people. And in fact, I partnered up with a friend of mine on a property who owns almost 5,000 apartments, $500 million, like absolutely crazy. So I went deep into this so I could learn more about it. I even ended up buying a private island with a couple other investors. We've done a lot in the real estate. My total portfolio is about $10 million right now. And it's been really fun to go into a different industry because real estate is such a people's game, whereas e-commerce is very much so solo. You don't need anybody necessarily. So it's a very big shift there, and I've enjoyed it. And now I have Bulls Capital, my real estate fund, where we're going to be partnering with accredited investors on any cool assets we come across that we want to raise money for. We did that on one property, and I sent out $26,000 in distributions just last quarter for that. So all the investors are happy and everything is going very well on that property. And number four, hold on to your hats here because this one's crazy, is a different kind of real estate. This is the fully passive kind, where I invest as a limited partner or as a JV into deals. In LP, limited partner, you have absolutely no say. I've deployed a good amount of money through LP positions. This is great because you're fully passive. You just decide if you want to do the investment, place your money, and from that point, you have no say. That's just like how we raised money for a property inside of Bulls Capital. The investors usually don't have a voice. Now, investing as a JV, I also did this last year, is more of a partnership. I do have a voice, but what I'm looking to do with that is give money to people for their deals who need it. Maybe we go 50-50, they don't have enough money or whatever, and they operate the deal. I have a voice, but I don't use it unless something goes wrong. So just last year alone, I deployed another $500,000 almost exactly into LP and JV deals. Most of that was as an LP, and a very small amount of that was as a JV to a small multifamily property. So doing that has bought myself another $45-ish thousand a year income stream that is going to be growing as we add value and income to those properties. So that right there is just, you're continually buying income streams, and I love that. My fifth stream of income is YouTube. And it's kind of funny because yeah, this does make money. However, this channel through ad revenue will probably make me about $60,000 this year. Right? And you might be like, okay, I'm talking about it like that's nothing. The reason I say that is because I'll spend about $100,000 to do it, maybe 120. So it's not like I don't do this for the ad revenue, but it does help cover some costs. My expenses are higher right now because I'm hiring people. We've built a great team and I'm looking to grow. And just to give you a metric here in the business space, for every 100,000 views I get, I'll make maybe $1,000. That's roughly the range. So not bad. I don't do this for the ad revenue. It definitely feeds a lot of other things, which is great, but I'm looking to get to 500,000 subscribers this year. So help me out, hit subscribe if you wouldn't mind. And let's talk about number 6, which is YouTube brand deals. This is where I ultimately break even on YouTube, especially with what we're spending on the team. I'll make about $75,000 a year, maybe 100 this year through brand deals. Now, there's a lot of people with smaller channels making a lot more than me. Why? Because they make their money off YouTube. I don't care. I refuse to sell out for something I don't believe in. My ethics are very, very important to me, and I make money for my business, not from YouTube, so I don't have to. So I say no to a lot of requests. I get about 10 emails a day, mostly from scammy crypto and NFT things, offering a huge amount of money to promote their crap, and I refuse to do it. I typically prefer to only promote my stuff because I know it, I can control it, and I don't have any quality issues. The only other people I'll work with are brands who I either use their software, their service, their company, or whatever, ever, or I have before. So that's why my deals are not massive in terms of their size, but the companies I do work with, we usually work together for a long time, and it's a great partnership. So that plus the ad revenue covers the cost of the channel, which is great. I also do giveaways in pretty much every video, so I probably give away another 20 grand a year. So, balance it how you want. And finally, my 7th income stream at 22 years old. It sounds crazy to say, very grateful for that. This one very much so runs in the background, and that is affiliate marketing. I'm gonna give you an example here. Right now, we train people on e-commerce. What do you need for e-commerce? You need a website. So we have an affiliate link to the main site that you would sign up for anyways for your Shopify store, right? And so that it's congruent, it fits. So I'm looking for stuff like that so that I'm not promoting something that makes no sense. It fits into our business. So it's more of a happy coincidence. So, ClickFunnels, another service, I haven't promoted that for years. I still get a check. Shopify, I get a small check. I get an even smaller check from Viral Ecom Ads. They're a video editing service for e-commerce companies. So again, kind of blends right into the business. We have an audience for it. So if you want to sign up for Shopify, you can use our link somewhere down below. But services like that, those I don't put them in every video. I don't promote it out there, but it is there, and I make probably $30,000 to $50,000 a year from that, which again is just an extra bonus. It's great. Now, while that income stream would be fun to grow, it doesn't lead to anything. I'm promoting someone else's company. It's not really recurring income. It's just one of those like one-time payments that means nothing. So to me, since I don't need the money to survive, there's no long-term value at all there. I'm more focused on building my businesses. Now, there is an additional company that did not make the cut on the list for 2 reasons. Number one, I'm not saying what it is publicly. There's absolutely no reason. This is a business that'll have a couple SaaS products under it in the software type space. That business, I imagine, will be worth $20 to $30 million in the next few years as we're building it in a completely different way. But I'm also spending a lot of money on that right now. So everything it's making is going right back in, and probably a little more. A couple employees we're hiring under there. It's starting to do pretty well. But these income streams today represent 7 figures for me, which I'm extremely, extremely grateful for. It's been a long, very long road with some high risk up front and some crazy, crazy ups and downs. If you want to hear the full story, I'll leave my story video linked below where I go through the whole timeline, tax returns, all the numbers and stuff like that if you want to hear it. So I hope that helped you learn a little bit more about me. My name is Hayden Bowles. I'm just a kid who flunked out of school and moved to California at 17 to chase some wild dream of building businesses. It's been a lot of fun, and it would not have been possible by myself. It's all these other people, good and bad experiences. All of that has contributed to where I am today, and I wouldn't change it for anything. So hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe. I post here every week, and I'll see you in the next video.